I confronted my wife about a disturbing secret she hid for the past 5 years. It changed our lives. It was 2:43 a.m. when I woke up with a parched throat. I reached over to the nightstand for the water bottle but froze midway. My wife, Ella, lay beside me, her back facing me, her body shuddering in the semi-darkness. She was crying. But she was crying so quietly that it seemed like she didn't want to wake me up. I wasn't sure if she could tell if I was awake or not. It broke my heart to see her like that. We were college sweethearts. The way we ended up together was a bit messy. Fran, my ex-girlfriend from college, had dumped me, and in an attempt to make her jealous, I started dating Ella. Ella was everything Fran couldn't stand, and I gave Ella everything Fran had ever wanted. But what started as some stupid tactic to make my ex jealous turned into a lifelong commitment. Ella turned out to be the one. The more I got to know her, the more I fell in love with her intelligence, her kindness, and her beauty. She was, and still is, my soulmate. Things took a dramatic turn a few months ago when Fran moved back to our city and back into our friend group. One night, the girls decided to go out, splitting themselves into two cars. Ella was supposed to be in one car, Fran in another. But fate had other plans. Fran's car was hit by another vehicle. The news was horrific. Fran had a couple of broken bones, but my initial relief of Ella being in another car was short-lived. Ella was actually in Fran's car, on the passenger side, the side that took the worst hit. It was a gut-wrenching moment when I learned of this. I couldn't fathom the fear and pain she must have gone through. But Ella, being the fighter she is, breezed through physical rehab like it was nothing. Her relentless strength and spirit inspired me. It had always been one of the things I admired most about her. So to see her lying in bed bawling her eyes out was shocking to me. I had never seen her cry before. After the first night I noticed, they continued for days. She'd cry for hours, silently, stealthily. And then, in the morning, she'd put on a strong, happy face as if nothing had happened. Each time I stirred in bed, she'd grow quieter, ensuring I remained undisturbed. My mind was in a whirlwind. I loved her more than anything in the world, and seeing her in pain but not knowing why was unbearable. Despite all of our friends still focusing on Fran's injuries, I couldn't help but be more concerned about Ella. I had to know what was causing her such distress. One night, we were sitting in bed. We had just finished watching the movie Hachi, so our emotions were already stirred up a bit. I decided to say something. I mustered up the courage to confront her. Ella, I began softly, I know you've been crying at night. She tensed, her breath hitched, but she didn't respond. I held her, pulling her close and assuring her that she could tell me anything, and I would be there for her. And then it came out. The reason behind her silent tears. She told me that she had been crying for the past few weeks, but I had only noticed recently. When she had gone to her last checkup, she complained about having a constant headache in the back of her head. The doctor advised that she immediately went to the hospital to get it checked out, and so she did. Ella had brain cancer. She had been diagnosed shortly after the accident but chose to keep it a secret. She was scared to start chemotherapy because she was afraid of seeing her without hair. She didn't want to burden me or affect our relationship with her prognosis. She only had a few months to live. The revelation was a bombshell. I held her tighter as she let out her tears, no longer silent. The enormity of her situation was overwhelming, but it brought a level of understanding and closeness. Ella had been silently bearing her pain to protect me, to keep our relationship from the shadow of her impending mortality. But now that I know, we could face it together. No matter how tough the journey ahead would be, we resolved to face it hand in hand, supporting each other. Ella wasn't alone in this, and I made sure she knew it. Her strength and resilience made me fall in love with her all over again. It's been 3 years since that happened. Ella underwent an intense surgery in order to remove a majority of the tumor, and the chemotherapy got rid of it altogether. We now have a beautiful daughter and can't wait for what the future holds for us. If you have a personal struggle going on in your life, don't hesitate to tell someone. It might just save your life.